What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 521. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Carlos Romero.
Yo.
Joining us right now as we start live, Mr. Adam Vale. You're muted, sir. Oh, this will take 5 minutes. Now you guys get to see what we deal with before the show starts. That's why we always have to have Adam come in early, man. You never know. But yeah, we also got Mr. Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, everybody?
And of course, Brian Manjoma.
That was a show.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know what you're referring to. If it's Invincible, I haven't seen it yet.
No. State of Play.
Oh, it's State of Play. Oh, yeah, we will talk about that. But speaking about Invincible, I'll give a shout out to that later. But yes, Battle Beast is back, Rich, so be happy. Oh, man, good stuff. All right, Adam, say something to see if we got you on. Uh-oh. All right.
Testing.
Oh, there you are.
Oh.
You're good? You're good?
No, I don't think that's it. Hold
No,
on.
stop it, motherfucker. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Don't tinker with nothing.
It was not. Why does fucking the Discord, man? I hate it. It's like switch to the headset mic, which I don't use.
Yeah.
Because I got the Yeti mic, so then I had to go to settings, and it's like, there's your headset. That's your default.
This is default.
And then
Stupid.
it's a default. These nuts.
You know. Yeah, now you guys
do
get
you notice a difference? Do you notice a difference?
the lighting. So yeah, you look a little bit brighter, sir.
Yes.
You're standing out more from the background. Yeah.
Yeah, I got this 47-inch wide LED light.
Oh, shit.
I'll send you guys a picture in
Yeah.
chat. It's massive. So then this isn't even on all bright. Look, I'll dim it down.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then I can
That's
do it up.
that's Adam After Hours.
Yeah, Adam After Hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Adam After Hours. There we go. So there we go. Now we got some light. Now we can see everything.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
good. Yeah, that's perfect. That's great. You know? All right, man. So
Nice.
I was thinking about this before the show. I don't do this enough, but I should do it now, and he's there. I want to give a shout out to Barry Burton, bro. Like, this guy's literally
Always.
here for every episode, man. You know, throwing jokes, making sure motherfuckers don't
It's
get
his
out of
AI
line.
bot. It's his AI bot.
So yeah, man, shout out to him, bro. You know, always in there, moderating 2 streams, mind you, YouTube
Yeah.
and Twitch. You know, so shout out to him. Obviously, some of us here know his
Yeah,
real
shout
name,
out.
you know, but you know, good guy, man. He'll go to Comic-Con this year too. You know, as always. You know, hey, I'm the one I beat him to it this time. I didn't go to Comic-Con this year, you know, but he was there. All right, man, let's get into it, man. As Brian already alluded to, we're gonna be talking about State of Play, but you know, also want to tease something else. We also have games to talk about, like games we've like played and previewed. Me and Rich specifically. So this should be fun. You know, we actually have games to talk about, people. But yeah, let's get into it. State of Play. This one was slightly shadow dropped. Like they just sent us like a day or two beforehand. It's like, oh, okay, we're getting a State of Play. You know.
But by the way,
Is that
it was shadow drop, but it was also preempted by a certain leak that happened a week before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And when we get to that specific game, I'm gonna clue you in on some very interesting things that I noticed.
Uh-oh. And if Manny's talking about that specific game I think we're talking about, that would have been the lead image, but it isn't because the game got leaked. So I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Shout out to Chris who joined us. Chris, I don't know if you're ready with the Sony financials, but I have a website ready to read from if not. So we're good on that end.
Okay, no, I didn't have a chance.
Okay, all good. We will still get your analysis off of what we hear anyway. So all good in the hood. And also, Chris, we got some Nintendo stuff I want to ask you about towards the end of the show. So this should be very interesting. All right, man, let's get into it. So I'm going to be reading this off Polygon. So if the order's fucked up, that's on them. But I did watch this show live, so I'll be keeping track. Like, hey, hold on a second. I looked at this particular show. Like, it looked mostly correct. I think we should be good. But yeah, like we always do on Throwdown, we've run down through every game announced. Monster Hunter Wilds. We got another trailer. They're going to be having a new free monster shortly after launch, which is very good. We're going to kind of skip this because remember I said we're going to be doing some previews.
Wait, question. Wait, you
What's
can
up?
be the monster?
No.
What is it?
No. There's going to be a new monster in the game. They're adding a monster.
Oh, so because I'm just wondering, like, is that like a DLC thing? Like, oh, if you go to this part of this map, only people that purchase this would see or encounter this monster. Is it that type of situation?
Maybe, but the thing is, it's free, so who wouldn't?
I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh, if it's free, it's free. Yeah.
But I'm assuming usually if it's DLC and it's paid DLC, you have to just buy it, and it'll be a completely different area that you can't even access normally.
The worst is those pre-order DLCs that if you didn't pre-order, you never get, and then they decide never to release it as free.
Yeah, they don't do that shit. Yeah. But anyway,
it works like
like
Rise and World. Then it'll just be free for everyone, and everyone just gets it.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about Monster Hunter Wilds in a bit because remember I said we got games to preview. I'm going to give you a preview of that game since I've played a lot of it. All right, so next up we got Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Now this one we've been anticipating for a number of years, ever since Streets of Rage 4. They kind of teased it in the actual game itself, like in one of the levels, like that sewer level and stuff. You kind of saw like a Shinobi like drawing. It's like, oh, is .emu going to be doing this shit? And yeah, we got it. So it'll be dropping August 28th, the same day as Metal Gear. Very interesting,
That Shinobi game was also shown before.
Yeah. But now we got like a better look at it, I believe. I don't remember seeing this much of it before.
It was a little bit of a teaser.
It looks fucking dope. Looks great.
It looks incredible, yeah.
So you already know I'm already there. Let me run a little bit of this. It looks great, bro. Like, give me
It
this
sort of
shit.
looks like a mixture. It sort of looks like a mixture of a few of the Shinobis, like a bit of 3, a little bit of 1.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a greatest hits like Shinobi game.
Yeah.
Wonder if they'll put Spider-Man in this one.
Yeah.
Or Batman.
Did they have those guys in
in Revenge of Shinobi?
I don't
In
remember.
Revenge
those
of
guys.
Shinobi,
man.
they got a little bit. Sega got a little bit sneaky.
Uh-oh.
And put in characters they shouldn't have been putting
They
inside.
were
of a
boss
game.
fights too. I was like,
They were
shit.
boss
I'm
fights.
fighting
You fight-
Spider-Man.
You fight Spider-Man and you fight Batman.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Shinobi?
That's cool.
Oh, it looks cool. I'm very pleased, and I'm very pleased it's not 3D. It's going back to its
Yeah.
roots, and he looks like he did in Shinobi 3. He has that same outfit. Yeah, I was very happy
Great
when
outfit.
I saw that. Yeah. No, it looks good, man. Looks good. I'm excited because I was disappointed that what was the last Shinobi game, that PS2 one, right?
Yeah,
The
that 3D one. Yeah. That
It
weird
wasn't
one.
good.
Was that the one with the long scarf, or am I thinking of something
Yes,
else?
he had the
Okay.
super long scarf. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That was a weird game.
Man, the last Shinobi I played
They
was
made
on the
2 of
Master
them.
System.
Shit.
Oh
They
damn.
made-
That was the last one. That's all I kept thinking of. I was like, yeah, I'm sure they made other ones, but the only one that
No,
kept
you-
flashing in my brain. Which one?
No,
I didn't
you
have it
played-
on
you
my
played-
32.
you pl- Yeah,
Genesis?
You played,
I had it on Genesis. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because if you had the Sega CD, you got a version of Shinobi. You got that, remember, because it was on the Sega Classics CD where you got Streets of Rage, Shinobi, Revenge of Shinobi, and then
remember.
you got something else.
I remember getting the Jimi
Jewel
Hendrix
Collins
stuff.
or
Remember
something.
that came with my Sega CD. I remember
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Jimi
Well,
Hendrix.
the Sega Classics came with it. You had that game.
There you go. I skipped over that game then. I don't think I played it. Well,
Mhm.
if I did, I just don't remember. But all right.
Oh, you could play this one. So good stuff there. Next up, we got a Sonic racing game. If anybody cares.
Another one.
The one for the Sega for the PlayStation 3 was actually very well reviewed. People really like that game. That's the one with Yu Hazuki in it as a. It was called the Sonic Racers game, but it really was just like Sega Racers because it had everybody from
Yeah.
a bunch of Sega games.
That wasn't
Yeah,
the
you was
last.
accused of
That wasn't the
No,
last
they made
Sonic
one-
game, was it?
No,
Last,
they made one
recently?
not too long ago. All Stars or something like that.
Yeah, that's
It
what I
had
said. There's
characters
no
from
way
all
the
over.
last one was on PS3. You know.
Because
Yeah,
I
at
remember
least
my
the
kids
other
playing
one
it.
was pretty
Wreck-It
good.
Ralph was in it, so it wasn't that long.
Okay. So there you go. If you like Sonic racing games, this one's actually checks out. So there's a closed network test for on February 21st. So pretty close. All right, next up, we got a Digimon game. By the way, a funny thing about this, for a hot second, because my dumbass didn't see that it said Bandai Namco. I was like, yo, Persona 6? But then, no, Bandai Namco. So, Digimon. So, if you're a Digimon fan, there you go.
Yeah, people, the Digimon, I don't remember the Digimon games being any good, but,
Yo, man, where's my Monster Rancher game?
There you go.
I have a buddy on Xbox that played Division where he's hardcore into all that. His name is Digiken.
Damn.
Yeah, Digiken. He's living that life.
I kind of lump Digimon and like Yu-Gi-Oh into the same kind of thing. It's like, it's those other game.
Yeah, it's the other ones.
The other non-Pokemon ones. That's what I kind of consider
even
them.
Even though like
Digimon
Yu-Gi-Oh is about playing a game.
Yeah.
And him stealing your soul after he beats you.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But I kind of consider them the other. But Digimon obviously Pokemon inspired. Yes. There's a Mon in there. It's part of the Mon series. Oh man! All right. We got Lost Soul Aside. Remember this game?
This was the game that was supposed to be developed by one guy.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Brian.
Go ahead, Brian.
It was, and then I think he expanded, and then Sony bought them out. Well, I say bought them out. Sony decided to help out with development, and I remember that it was announced for the PS4, and obviously here we are. So that never panned out. But yeah, I'm finally happy. It's finally coming out. I'm excited that they haven't dropped PC support, as that was one of my biggest fears, that they'll just do the usual, we'll just stop doing the PC build and just go straight with PlayStation. So, yep, looks good. It's what I signed up for in the first place. I like how the vision hasn't really changed much since that initial showcase.
Yeah,
so
he pretty much looks the same.
all good.
That character, so at least that was cool.
Yeah. And Brian, I can't let you go on this one, man. I know you meant, he expanded the team, but when you said he expanded, I'm like, he got fat? And Rich, this game was not lost and set aside. It's actually coming. So,
Yes, unlike a supposed other abandoned.
Yeah, a game that was abandoned. Yeah. So anyway, pre-orders for Lost Soul Aside start on February 19th, people. There you go. Next up, we got Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Good stuff. There's a demo going live.
Yeah, I've been playing that. That's what I've been doing right before we got on, because I'm going to be reviewing that over at the Coalition. So far,
let us know. Let us know. Fill us in.
Yeah. Oh, it's solid. It's there's some crazy scenes where there's a counter move, or also linked as a special move where you can catch an attacking blade to the mouth, and it like zooms in and you see him like get in his teeth and stuff. It's like,
so is brutal. This game like?
It's not turn-based. It's back to the old. Yeah. It's straight up action.
Do you need to play the other Hawaii game?
Nope. This is its own thing. He wakes up. He has amnesia. Doesn't know what's going on. There's already pirates on. Yeah, and there's already people on the island, pirates. And at first I was thinking, maybe because he has amnesia, maybe he's blacking out and he's seeing things like how Ichiban would see things different when he was fighting. And I thought it was that situation. That's not the case at all. There's just people that not really cosplaying, but they're like living that life on this island. And then there's other islands that you go to that they're doing like Coliseum type battles and stuff and all this craziness. It's over the top. There's a lot of cursing. There's some violence. There's some kidnapping. There's a whole lot going on. I'm just going to call it the Morpheus jump, as a move. Remember when Morpheus did that thing in Matrix where he jumps and they did the slow-mo in the air?
Yeah.
Man? When he's fighting Neo, and there's that famous shot where he just jumps in the air.
Okay, yeah.
The Morpheus jump. That's one way you can do that, which is crazy. When someone is striking towards you, you could just jump right over them. It's nuts, but it's fun. It's fun. Of course, it's just as wacky as all the other ones with things that you can do. But I'm really enjoying it so far. You know, also there's cooking involved. That's the new thing in all these
Okay.
games now. There's a menu. Of course, certain things give you different abilities and power boosts. But the other funny part of it is that there's like multiple mini games. So depending on how you trigger these mini games is how you get the boost. So
Yeah.
it could be more or less, even though there's a menu system. It's almost like a not like a dance, or maybe something like that, you know, press X, B, B, A, you know, that type of thing, or you have to blow to put the fire in, and you got to press A and hit the red meter, and it's just its own little take on the whole cooking situation. But yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It's beautiful. I mean, they that's one thing that they have a great job doing with all these games. They all look great,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and it's a standalone. Yeah, that's the big thing, and that's
I was worried about that. I'm like, do I need to play the other one? Yeah.
No. Yeah, I mean, you're still in the Hawaiian Islands area region, but
Pretty sure it's like reusing a lot of the assets and stuff.
oh yeah. Especially the music, I could hear like between the you know, because there's
Yeah.
like dialogue boxes between conversations, but a lot of cutscenes with audio. There's something else. I'm still playing. It's ongoing. I'm not nowhere near finishing this one, but from what they were saying, some characters from the Yakuza, like a Dragon, Ichiban, and stuff, who's supposed to be out there, they do make appearances.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a flashback or if it actually happens. I haven't gotten up to that part, but yeah, it's good, and it's a pirate game, and I got to give them credit for that, for thinking outside the box. It's like, you know what? Let's just get crazy with this. It's not like a throwback. This is happening now in
Yeah.
like modern time, you know, and these people getting crazy, and he's even making fun of them. You know, he's
Yeah,
like,
because
"Why
I
are
was
they dressed
wondering
like
about
pirates?"
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, why are they making it? It's like, that's just what they do out here. Why not? And you're like, yeah, okay, why not? And then that's it. Within like 10 minutes, you're past it, and you're like, yeah, this is how everybody looks out here.
That's funny.
You know, so I'm enjoying it. It's fun, and yeah, I think it's cool. It's fitting that they went back to the traditional fight style. You know, of like,
Yeah.
just sort of jumping, even running around, dodging, just fighting, not doing a turn based like a Dragon, the Yakuza one. And I hate the fact they changed everything to the Like a Dragon. You know what I mean? That's not. I get it. In Japan, the whole series is called that.
Yeah.
But here, I think when we think of it, we think of the Ichiban series. You know, do
Yeah.
with the fro. You know.
Yeah, now
and,
they're all just like a dragon.
they're
yeah.
all under, yeah. And so I feel like you're gonna always have to distinguish. Just like, no. This fight style is from the older Yakuza. What do you mean the older? Not the new? No, it's not the turn-based one. But it's great. I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it. So that's what we'll be doing all weekend. Just jumping back into that.
Nice. All right. And speaking about Ichiban, he's going to be coming to Dave the Diver. You know, so if you are playing Dave the Diver and you like Yakuza, there you go.
Anybody here play that?
No, come on, bro.
No, I see it all the time. I hear people talking about. I saw that they did that partnership with Dredge, the boat game where you like fight sea monsters or something like that. I don't know, but it's
They did
it's a-
Godzilla last time.
you see, that's what I'm saying. It's like you hear all this stuff, and like nobody on this panel has played this.
Well,
game.
nobody
Either
here,
game, Dredge
nobody here,
or Dave the Diver.
nobody here played fucking Balatro either. You know, and that was nominated for Game
Yeah,
of the Year.
I don't play. There you go. We're out of the loop. We're out
Yeah.
of the loop.
Out of loop.
Adam, I bought Dave the Diver for like $3.
Yeah.
I have yet to play it.
Right? There
But you
go.
bought it. You bought it though.
But I bought it.
supporting
It
them.
counts.
You
Yeah.
have it, but you haven't
I-
played it.
You know what? I have it on my wish list on Steam, and I've seen it go on sale multiple times. But I just
When is
don't
your birthday?
like it. My birthday, August 4th.
Oh, I'll think
Oh,
about
is
it.
that it? It's past. It got some time. By that time, maybe I'll play it. I don't know, but it's been a few years that it's been out on my list, and I just haven't pulled the trigger because I just keep looking. I'm like, am I gonna play this? Am I gonna play? I just picked up something that Manny recommended. That Thunder Ray. That was on my list, and that was yeah. They just went on sale for $4.99.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
like,
picked that up a while ago. I remember when Manny recommended it.
Yeah.
Although I
so-
couldn't get past one of the boxers. She was like floating and using magic. I was like, oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it moving here. Next game they showed was, I guess Adam or Rich could tell us about this one. WWE 2K25. The Island.
Yeah.
The Island. Oh man, Rich, I don't know if you saw this, but I definitely had people in my life hit me up and they were like, what is this? This can't be real. Why are they doing this? Like, I guess these are people that, and I didn't bother asking them, but I guess they're not familiar with the city, which is in the NBA. That's their open world, and that's what this is. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, explain this, Rich. What is this island stuff?
Yeah, just like Adam said, if you've ever played NBA 2K, this is their version of the city, which is basically a place that players, you can have all of your custom attire. You can go and buy merchandise,
From real stores.
in matches.
AKA PlayStation Home.
Yeah.
Second Life.
Yeah, Second Life.
And AKA monetization and
up the wazoo.
A way to add replay value to the game so that they can still make money after the game launches. So,
and one of the things that Rich and I, when we saw this, that we discussed, we was like, because we play a lot of WWE, more with Rich, but man, that multiplayer, it's not solid. The servers and stuff, the experience of playing these matches, not so good. And so for this to happen, it's all about that. Like once you go into the city, right, which is in the NBA, and it's going to be similar with the island because they showed it. You go in, you'll see a bunch of stores, real world stores, Adidas, Nike, Jordan, all that stuff. Well, maybe I don't remember if Nike, but definitely Jordan and Adidas, and then some other stores. But when you go in, and I remember with the Jordan, because my son has a pair of Jordans, and his sneakers were in the game. And they cost some ridiculous VC, virtual currency, that either you can earn from playing or you could spend real money to get. And a lot of people have been doing that. So let's say certain exclusive sneakers in the real world are hard to get. Well, maybe your virtual character can pick them up. It's going to cost, but you can get them and you can roll around with them. But anyway, you get all that stuff. Then there's different areas, all PvP, where you can go. Maybe in the basketball one, it's like 2v2, 3v3. There's other pickup games and stuff, and you play as your created character. And there's like story-based stuff going on, but it's all PvP. So our question when Rich and I saw this was like, man, did they fix the multiplayer portion of the WWE games? Because that thing always crashes, people drop, there's lag, there's all these issues. And that's like the heart of the city for that, and that's gonna be the heart of the island, besides trying to empty everybody's pockets with the microtransactions. And if that doesn't work, it doesn't matter how pretty your guy looks. If he can't play and have that experience, then they're not gonna do it. If he keeps getting server errors and stuff like that. But I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna find out more as they start releasing, because I want to really see who's developing. Is it the same team from NBA developing it, or did they just share that technology with the WWE team and say, hey, here's the sandbox, here's the tools, figure it out, put it together. If you need help, we'll hit you up. Because if so, they need a lot of help with that multiplayer.
Well, I do want to say two quick things. Yes, it is the same team, visual concepts. So I do expect it is going to have some issues. We'll have to see how that goes. But some other inside information that I can, for the people that have asked you, Adam, why did they add this? Well, what I found out is last week when Take-Two had that fiscal call, and I did listen to that call, they said in that call, one of the biggest surprises and biggest sellers last year was NBA 2K. Yeah. So that exceeded their expectations. So I figured they said, oh, well, now we're going to try this for WWE 2K so we can make some more money. But apparently, the last 2K game sold extremely well. They're still making a lot of money off of that with the city and all the other stuff. So this is why they have this in WWE 2K.
Yeah, and people need to see there's the upsides to this. So we see all the stuff with Fortnite and all those, and what's it all about? Playing with their friends, right? Getting all the customization and jumping in with your buddies. Well, that's what the city offers. You can get your buddies, you all jump in, go shop together, go do pickup games together, go do all that stuff together. And if they can get that to work in the wrestling game, it could be a solid hit, and I could see people living in the multiplayer realm of the game. I mean, everybody, all the people I follow for the FC games and all the community groups that I'm part of, everyone was clamoring for EA to add something like this. They're always like, man, what's the next FC going to come out? Oh, well, hopefully it has its own version of, the city. Maybe they'll have its own version of the city, because it seems like a great idea. A lot of people want it. My son plays it, In the NBA, you can get a go-kart. I mean, it's massive. There's a subway system. There's different areas of travel. There's different locations. You're playing basketball on a pirate ship and like a metal factory with big mech robots around you and animation happening in the background. So I could just imagine what they're going to do with the wrestling one. So if it's done right, and NBA, they do it right, whether people like microtransactions or not, it's obviously making money that is worth investing and bringing that mode to wrestling games. So we'll see. I'm excited though. I'm excited for it.
Oh yeah.
Cool. All right. Next we have Borderlands 4, and they had Randy Pitchford showing us off with another Randy, and they made jokes about that, and it was stupid. But anyway, you got yes. The jokes were dumb, but I know people like these games, so
Of course.
What do you say, Adam?
I didn't realize that all these games I like. Look at this shit. I was over here telling Rich and other people like this was a waste.
All of these games you love,
and
man.
all these games, and there you go. So look at me, sucker free Sunday. It's all on me, right? Throw the jizz in my face now. Oh, my bad, my bad. I didn't see that coming. I'm excited I like these Borderland games. Grab some people, we jump in, just shoot a bunch of freaking maniacs, pick up all these wacky weapons, constantly upgrading weapons. You never have to buy anything because there's no point. As soon as you go buy a gun, you'll level up in the next mission like 2 or 3 times, and then you'll get new guns. It's just fun, wacky fun. I love it. I got my son hooked. He likes playing the Borderlands games. So we're looking forward to playing this one together. And I'm all for these. I like the Tiny Tina Wonderland. I put a lot of time into that one. Wasn't as inventive with the weapons, but understandable because of the time period that they were going with. But it was fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this Borderlands.
Yeah. Anybody else looking forward to Borderlands 4?
I'm kind of lukewarm on it. Again, I liked the first one. I loved the second one. Third one haven't played yet, but I've just heard mixed.
There's a lot of problems. Yeah, it's not perfect. The second is the best. Second, by far the best.
Oh, by far. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Like, do they still have it? And does the story make sense? Because I was hearing the story of the third game, and it really does assassinate a lot of characters for the sake of it, and it's kind of a mess writing wise. So
I'll tell you this much, Brian. I beat the third one twice. I don't remember the damn story.
Yeah.
I know Penn and Teller is in it, and a few other famous actors, Chris Hardwick and stuff. They pop up in different characters, but it was just go kill these people, jump into another one. I think there was like 2 sisters, and they were trying to take over the universe or the galaxy, and they had like this online presence. They were trying to link that whole social media aspect. They had a lot of followers. It was weird, so I didn't care. I just like killing shit.
Yeah, the bad guys were brothers and sisters who were streamers, and it was that. So I don't know. I don't know what they can do comedy-wise with this one, because as you know, comedy these days comedy has always been really hard to write.
But nowadays, though, bro, you're right. You know?
It's going to be really difficult to actually make people laugh without doing some cringe stuff. I fully expect a Hawk Tuah joke in there somewhere. So
probably.
I mean, if the humor is, if the presentation, is any indication of the humor in this game, we're gonna have a problem, because I was cringe as fuck. All right, so there you go. Adam, I hate to tell you this, but here's probably another game you're gonna love too.
Oh shit! Which one?
Split Fiction by your boy who did who said fuck the Oscars. And you like his games, the I forget, like you've talked about his games. Yeah,
Haze Light.
Yeah,
the No Way Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brothers.
The Brothers, No Way Out. Oh, Rich and I got that. What was it, platinum or 1,000? I don't know. We played it a few times.
Yeah. So consider this your next. Consider this your favorite.
It's a 2-player. Sorry, Carlos. It's 2 players.
Yeah. So consider this your next favorite game, Adam.
It is my next favorite game. There you go. This was a win-win. I love this event. I'll just, say that now. This was
that's what I say. Like we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, Adam. That it was all you. I just like Adam. Go ahead, talk.
This is it. I'm excited. I love the guy. Did the guy come out and
No,
with
no,
any
he didn't.
outspoken comment? No, he didn't go wild
Nah.
like he usually does.
No,
Oh,
he
that's a
didn't. He didn't
shame.
come out,
This wasn't
unfortunately.
the Game Awards, so
Yeah, but they had Randy
It did
Pitchford, you know. So
yeah.
So
well,
what's the release date?
I
Did
don't
they
Uh,
say
didn't say
March 6th,
March
right?
6th. Oh shit!
Yeah.
March?
They-
Oh, that's soon. So Rich, we gotta. That's it. If there's a tag team mode in there, which there usually is, because he's big into the whole.
Yeah, the whole game
Like
is
two.
like that. Yeah, March 6th. Yeah, you could tell like the whole game is 2-player. So there you
Yeah,
go.
Yeah.
that prison one was awesome. I love that prison one. That was a good one.
Yeah. They had actually they had a previews that came out for that today because they had some press playing the game. I want to say last week or earlier this week. So yeah, it's getting a lot of high praise. So looking forward to it. But yeah, March 6th. That's right around the corner. Literally a couple of weeks from now.
Yeah, my kids, they finished that It Takes Two. They really enjoyed that one. So I don't think this guy's and his team have created a bad game yet. So far,
they
they're
haven't.
Pretty solid, yeah.
So now our job is going to be to get Mr. Tony Polanco to check out these types of games.
We'll see. This one, yeah, well, you know, I mean, I think I have Brothers, but you know, because the thing is,
Tony, didn't we
yeah.
play Brothers like years ago on like was it like a PS3 or something?
not the full thing, you know.
We played it or something.
Yeah, I don't recall, but yeah, I don't know. This game is weird to me. It's like it looks like it's two lesbians in a Tron world. Like I don't understand what's happening here, but you know, we'll see. Like you guys said, the guys have made a bad game, so
But-
maybe I'll keep this.
but-
What's up?
But I will say this: you definitely should play A Way Out because the twist in that particular storyline that made that game, I'd say probably one of their best games. Period.
Can you play
Multiple
any?
endings.
Can you play any of these games by yourself, or do you need to have somebody with you?
You need to have somebody.
I think
don't you
that's
can
always
play.
I think
Yeah.
that's always been the sticking point. Like, oh,
But
you know,
Two
If I remember
brothers you could play on one single controller
Yeah.
where
but
each character was on a
the
different
cool thing-
control stick.
the cool thing with Way Out, I don't know if it applied to the other ones, but Way Out, you didn't need 2 copies of the game.
Yeah,
You just needed
that-
one copy.
that's true.
And
Okay,
then
that's
you
good.
can then, yeah, and then the other person can download a copy, and then you invite them in, and then it'll work, which was great. I was like, oh, that's a cool idea, and that way it's not like reliant of like, oh man, none of my friends bought this game, and now it's just me. Now I got to play with some randos. It's like, no, you can invite your friend, you know, and then
So they actually have done that for every all of their games. So
all of them. Okay, that's good.
yeah, so you can do it for this too for sure.
yeah. All right, so there you go. Next up, we have a new IP here. I mean, the Split Fiction is obviously a new IP as well. It's called. Actually, this is from Dark Pictures. I believe they're
yeah.
ready. Was it Until Dawn, people?
Until dawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a sci-fi game called Directive 8020. It looks like it's like an alien game, you know, type of game. Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
The main
Yeah.
the main lady is not Monica Rambeau, but Monica Rambeau's mother.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, that's why she looks familiar. All right, well,
Yeah, she's.
We'll see about that.
It's her mother from Captain Marvel.
yeah, the highly
she was,
regarded
uh,
movie.
Oh, I
But
didn't see that
she
one.
was she was also in what was it not the Multiverse of Madness? She's in that too.
Yeah,
playing
another great
version of
movie.
Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Rich.
So I have a surprise to announce regarding this. If
Uh-oh.
you guys didn't already
Are you
know,
in it?
this is
Yeah,
He
once
reviewed
again.
it. He didn't tell
No,
nobody.
no. This is once again a game that Adam is looking forward to because it is the
Yes.
Dark Pictures
I
anthology.
played
That
them
is
all.
true,
I played
yeah.
them all.
Yeah,
Well, there
I
you go.
love
It's
them
another
all.
one, Adam. Another one.
Another one.
There's
Damn,
this the
all
best state of play forever, man.
It was the butter show.
Yeah, butter
This
show.
is Adam's
Make me
state of
I
play.
should be the thumbnail of just like got
Yeah.
it. We got it.
If we can get you to make the what was it the game fan face where they're like the crazy guy was in red like
10.
This was I can't believe it. Yeah, you're right. I love these type of games. I like all of them. It's just fun. It's just something about it. It's a story. You get to pick your own adventure. You pick the right answer, wrong answer, get some characters killed. Want to go back and replay it and get a different result? Go for it. If not, then just accept it. But it's fun. I love them. And then most of the newer ones have co-op. So then you have a buddy jump in and they're playing a different character and you're jumping around and making different decisions and choices, some impacting another character. I could be locked in a room and then it's like, all right, well, I'm in a room. All right, go find a key. I found a key, but what room? I don't know what room. I'm locked in the room.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go upstairs. Next, you know, they open up the door and then they get killed. And it's like, oh, shoot, you got killed. Now some NPC goes in and opens up the door. It's interesting. Those are fun. I like those games.
All right, so there you go. Another one that you should be looking forward
Another
to.
one.
All right. All right. Next up, I don't know how you feel about these games. Five Nights at Freddy's. You got another.
That's a Chris.
Chris,
He
you're
tried
into
to
these,
get me
right?
into one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was security breach because you could
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
move around. Like
My
this
daughter
one
likes
also
it.
you can move around. Kristen loved this. She was texting me. I was at work, and she's like, "Oh my god,
It's like,
Freddy's coming out!" Yeah, I was like, "Oh, all right." I took a look at the trailer. It looks good. There's a whole bunch of lore with FNAF. There's books and all this shit now. So, this game is kind of connecting all of those things together. So that's why.
There's kid
If
books
you're
out
fans
there
of that, yeah. If you're fans of that stuff, it's kind of like Goosebumps on steroids. Those books.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just like murder all over the
Oh,
place.
man.
It's brutal. But yeah, no, the game looks cool. She'll get it day one, like they're guaranteed.
There you go. All right. Next, we have a game called The Midnight Walk. Some kind of weird stop motion type of game. Don't really understand it. It's a VR game, so I guess we don't really care about that.
Oh no.
But it's coming to
it a VR
both.
game?
It's coming to both actually, PS5 and PSVR too. So,
Oh, okay, so
so
that's
it's,
fine.
yeah. I kind of, because again, I was watching this kind of semi covering it live, and I said this to my colleagues. I'm like, is this a trend in games now? It's like stop motion fucking frame rates? Like, this needs to stop before it keeps going. This is not fun.
I think
know?
for this one they are definitely they're going for that sort of like tool video feel to it.
Yeah, where's the
You know
little
what I
guy
mean?
suffering, you know?
Yeah, I mean you are playing a little suffering guy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Or is it a first person shooter? I can't remember.
Isn't sex?
Um,
Isn't sex?
Yeah, it's like a first person shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
so
looks like a Tim Burton inspired art style game.
Mm.
yeah, it's a mix of all
Corpse
that stuff.
Bride.
Tool video, Tim Burton,
Frank and Weenie.
something like
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a Tim Burton.
That's
film,
Tim Burton
yes.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
So so there you go. What else do we have here? Darwin's Paradox, they're a fucking squid. I believe it's a Konami game too.
Yes, it is a Konami.
I'm like, hey,
So-
Konami, hey, I'm glad Konami said, hey, we're back. We're gonna be making games. Here's a squid game for you.
Yes. I do want to make a comment on this.
Yeah.
Now, this is the game that I got a text from Carlos said, I'm picking this up on day one.
All right, man. That was confidential.
Oh man.
Gotta
Well,
keep
what I
secrets.
texted,
Stays in the chat. Stays in the chat. Come on now.
what I really texted, what I really texted Rich is, "Hey, Rich, you inspired me to say this. This is Squid Game, not Squid Games."
Oh man. All right, so
It actually looks okay. Like
it looks graphically it's not bad, yeah, but
It's
Yeah.
they've it's interesting. Konami's gotten into like doing a lot of like indie games, sort of like smaller game production. So there's this Squid Game, and then there's this other sort of art type of game that they had released before too. So it's like they're sort of doing these sort of smaller games almost, and then to go in between the big old like mega releases like Silent Hill and obviously Metal Gear. which
Yeah.
is coming up.
I mean it's fine, mix it up a little bit, you know. That's fine.
Konami making a comeback.
Excuse me?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'll count it when they do a final fight. When they fix that up, then I'll.
Well,
call
that's
it.
that's
Final
Capcom.
Fight.
That's Capcom.
Oh wait, what did we just say? We said Konami. Oh,
Yeah.
forget it. No, forget
Yeah.
it. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Warriors Abyss, which combines two things I don't like: Dynasty Warriors and roguelikes. So hard pass right there instantly.
That's a Riku game.
That's a Riku
He
game
likes
right
those.
there. You know.
Yeah.
Does he like
Nah.
roguelikes?
I don't know about that one, Riku. You have to give me that answer. What's up, Rich?
I was gonna say, I understand everybody doesn't like Dynasty Warriors, but that Dynasty Warriors Origins game is off the chain. That's all I want to say. But no, continue.
Uh-oh.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
Rico, I hear something. I hear something.
You just pulled a Kanye, you know. I'm gonna let you finish. I just want to say,
man.
Dynasty Warriors is one of the greatest games of all time. But he was playing just semi crazy Kanye, not full blown insane current day fucking Kanye. Holy shit!
Too much money and don't know what to do, Kanye.
Yeah, shit. I think I'm gonna just call him it's a yay or ye. What is it now?
I don't.
Because I want to make it. I'm gonna call this version yay because this motherfucker's on another level. You know. So Kanye, when I talk about Kanye, is the guy you like. You know. Anyway, moving on here. Here we go. Animusha 2. Oh, what's up?
Was it just me, or did that Dynasty Warriors game look like a mobile game?
No, I agree.
It
Yeah.
really did. It really did, Brian. And you know what? We may need to do some investigation because I wouldn't be surprised if this shit's already available on fucking mobile games. You look that shit up real quick.
One last comment to make about this game. Yeah, we will investigate because I actually was sent this game for review today. So yeah, I will confirm whether or not it is that the next time we have a show.
All right, good stuff. And the next time would be Sunday. You know, good stuff. But yeah, okay, so that is actually, let me go back a little bit here just to kind of confirm something. Not really, but basically, Kotaku put out this article saying how this was the sword show. So a lot of hack and slash type of games, and kind of.
We haven't gotten to all the sword games yet.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying, but the reason I said that is like I think we're now about to really dive in. We had we had Shinobi obviously and something else, but now we're getting into the sword games, bruh. So yeah, Animusha 2, which is a remaster of the PlayStation 2 game.
Yes.
That's dropping May 23rd. So pretty cool stuff. I missed out on those games, so maybe I'll check that one out. Seems pretty cool. And then of course, what's up, Annie?
But you keep on going.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I'm just saying it's like Samurai Resident Evil.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
how
much.
it had the fixed camera angles and everything. But I enjoyed them. Even the one with John Renault, the third one, I think that one was still fun.
Which, by the way, he said he would be willing to come back to play that character again.
Well, they got to get up to that remake.
Yeah, they got to
remake all three of them.
So why did they skip the first game?
Because the first game is sort of getting a total reimagining.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, that's cool. So yeah, maybe they will get 3 eventually. You know, that'd be cool. Anyway, and Manny, since you brought it up, the new game, Animusha, Way of the Sword. Pretty cool stuff.
This one, this one, I can't remember if it was Toshiro Mifune originally, but now it is. So the main character in the game is, based on the famous samurai actor Toshiro Mifune, but that's also the same. Those games have always put like real actors as their protagonists.
Yeah.
The second guy is also a famous actor, and the third one is too.
I was wondering, is the reason that some of those games weren't re-released because they had those actors, like some licensing stuff, maybe?
I mean, yes. In order to be able to release those things on multiple, in general, to re-release a game on multiple platforms, you have to redo all of your paperwork. So they would have to talk to the estate of the actor if the actor is alive or dead, whatever, and then they have to clear all that other stuff in order for it to be re-released.
Yeah. I don't know who in here is versed in Japanese history, but the new character Mifune, he's playing Miyamoto Musashi. I know that's a famous Japanese person, but I don't know.
Miyamoto Musashi is a very famous character.
Yeah,
a very famous individual.
So that's who Mifune is playing in this. But
I don't.
So but that wasn't the main guy in the original game.
Was it?
No, it wasn't.
No,
it was Samanosuke. I forgot his name. It wasn't that. It wasn't Miyamoto
Musashi. Let me look this up. I know he's a famous Japanese Samurai, maybe. Let's look it up. Rico would know this shit, you know?
What up?
What up? I'm looking at this from Wikipedia, so take it how you will. Miyamoto Musashi was a Japanese swordsman, strategist, artist, and writer. Damn, this Renaissance man for the Renaissance. Actually, after the Renaissance, 1584. Yeah,
that's after.
And writer who became renowned through stories of his unique double-bladed swordsmanship and undefeated record in his 62 duels. Damn, my man. The next is 33 by Ito Itosai. Miyamoto is considered a kensei, a sword saint of Japan. He was the founder of the Niten Ichi-ryu or Niten Ichi-ryu style of swordsmanship. In his final years, in his final years, authored the Book of Five Rings, which I have heard of. Okay, cool. Yeah, this guy, my man. What didn't he do? You know? Cool.
So another thing to know about Musashi, and this has to do with Final Fantasy, that is who. So if you remember, if you know Final Fantasy VII, what originally was, the main character of Final Fantasy VII was supposed to be Zack, and it was based on Miyamoto Musashi.
Interesting.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Now we're taking a little bit of a break from swords to talk about a game that got leaked. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta.
So
yeah, man, you say you have some new stuff because we kind of went in detail last time.
So it's not new stuff because we already talked about it, but here's something I did notice. So when all of that stuff got leaked, maybe about a week ago, right? Did you notice that Sony and Konami didn't say anything? The trailer didn't even pop up on their sites. It's like it never happened. Then all of a sudden today, when we had that, not today, but when they did the state of play, all of a sudden all that stuff came out. All of their sites got populated, their Twitters got populated.
But isn't it because it got leaked?
It's got leaked, but like usually what happens, like a lot of times when those big leaks happen, they just said, all right, fuck it, whatever. We're just throwing it all out. Nope, they didn't do any of that. They still kept it going until it actually showed up on that state of play.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Like, I don't think I've ever seen that. Where, in other words, they just got an ultra leak, which literally just gave away their date, the extra shit that's in the game, all that stuff. But yeah, they waited until this event to reveal everything. So, couple of things. As per usual, the Japanese get the better collector's edition. So theirs comes with a really cool, with the soundtrack of the game and a really awesome statue of Snake. Meanwhile, the United States gets this really lousy, like, it looks like a diorama, like a little mini diorama, like with Snake in a tree. It's really stupid. But yeah, unfortunately, we get as per usual. The United States gets shafted by the smaller markets on the planet. Anyway, there's that. Snake versus Monkey is coming back, but something very interesting. So, the Snake versus Monkey is not going to be on the Xbox or possibly the PC.
Uh-oh.
But that extra mode is still in the game, and they still haven't revealed it yet. But people think they're going to do a Bomberman instead of Snake versus Monkey for the things that are not PlayStation. So you're going to be able to do pretty much the same thing, except you're shooting Bombermen instead of monkeys from I can't remember, Ape Escape. So,
interesting.
Which possibly means that there's actually going to be new voice acting on the Xbox version and the PC version, because if you remember, Snake versus Monkey has a whole new conversation between Snake and Roy Campbell about the monkeys and how come he didn't get Sam Fisher and all these other guys to do this job. So anyway, I think the Xbox and the PC version is going to have all new voice acting, which goes to what David Hayter and Paul Eiding said. Well, like, oh, never thought I'd be playing Snake again, or never thought I'd be playing Roy Campbell again. They probably re-recorded some new lines for that. So interesting.
Pretty cool. All right, so that's coming out August 8th, like we said. And after that, we have a game called Hell Is Us, which I thought was Death Stranding for a while. Very inspired by that aesthetic. But
Hell Is Us
yeah.
was shown last time.
Yeah,
on the
and I also remember thinking it was Death Stranding last time as well. You know, I'm like, what? It's pretty clear what these guys are doing. You know,
right before the state of play, Kojima already said he's going to do a thing. You know,
with Hell Is Us.
Do a thing for Death Stranding, so it wouldn't have shown up on here.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was for a second. I'm like, what? What's going on? Yeah, it was September 4th. Very interesting. Lies of P getting an expansion.
Okay, that's what that is.
Yeah,
I thought it almost looked like a new game.
That's what I thought too, but no, it's an expansion. Because they said you need the base game to play this.
Okay.
Oh boy! So there you go. Another one. Dreams of Another.
Korean games.
What the fuck is this? Dreams of Another. I already forgot. Oh, Pixel Junk. I remember that studio.
Yep.
Oh, this is the game that I'm wondering if it's like a voxel-based game. Because it kind of looks like it. If Brett was here, he'd probably go nuts right now. Voxels. But
well, I mean, it's not. It seems like it's weird. It seems like the game is built out of not voxels like boxes, but like flat, like squares.
Yeah, it's weird. And like you shoot stuff, but not to destroy, but to build. But I'm like, couldn't you have made it something other than guns then? You know, because like you're even reloading. I'm like, wait, that's weird. You know, like why not use something that's like gun-like but not a gun? You know what I mean? Like, because you have this weird kind of eccentric looking world, then you have a gun. I'm like, wait, what? It's throwing the whole thing off, you know? But, you know, Pixel Junk, they're a cool studio, so we'll see. The guy's in pajamas with a fucking AK on his back. It's such a weird game. All right, and
at least you remembered it.
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, he remembered his AK. This one's like, I'm not even being facetious, shocked me. Because I thought Sony had just owned this fucking game. Days Gone is getting remastered. Like,
like a cash grab.
Yeah.
Once I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is a cash grab. They like sprinkled a little bit of 4K juice on it, and they're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but it's weird because Sony, they did. Too. They added a lot of stuff. I'm like, I thought Sony had disavowed this game because they didn't want, and they even admitted this, like, you know, behind the scenes, obviously, you find out that's like, oh, yeah, we didn't want another straight white male in a video game, so got to just shove this under the rug or whatever. Weird stuff. Maybe it's just going to signal Days Gone, too, because didn't, like, the developer have a big falling out with Sony? You know?
Yeah, they pushed them out. Too.
Yeah. What's up, Rich?
I just have one question. Does this game qualify as Sony's original statement when they said we're going to be releasing a ton of first-party games starting in 2025?
Yeah.
Remember when they had that statement?
I remember.
So I guess this is one of them.
Yep, the floodgates have opened. That's funny.
It's open, and it's all the stuff that you've played before.
It's all, yep.
But this is one I don't think anybody was clamoring for. Nobody was asking for a Days Gone remaster. We want that
weird one, yeah.
What was the one with the dude that can turn into smoke and stuff? He was like their own superhero. There was a whole series.
Infamous.
I'm blank.
Yeah, it's Infamous.
There you go. Infamous.
Everybody wants Infamous.
I want Infamous.
Everyone wants Bloodborne.
Yeah, that's what. Oh man! Again, I was watching if you guys watch the comments on YouTube, every game. Where's Bloodborne? Where's Bloodborne? Bloodborne? And if it wasn't Bloodborne, L. People were going crazy. You know,
they want their Bloodborne.
Or the old God of Wars, the hack and slash ones.
Yeah, that was the rumor. They got shot down. You know, or it didn't happen. I should say.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah. Oh boy,
it just makes no sense. I mean, so you tell me that Sony decided, okay, Days Gone 1 wasn't that well received or whatever,
but it sold a lot.
To greenlight a sequel.
Yeah.
So they said that, and then they turn around and say, okay, let's remaster the game that we didn't allow a sequel to for reasons. It's like, why?
Yeah,
it makes no sense. No sense
It makes
whatsoever.
less than no sense.
Yeah, it's. It's baffling. I don't get it. By the way, not to derail the conversation, but I'm scrolling through Twitter. Man, that new Captain America movie's getting destroyed. Oh man. Like I look at the Rotten Tomatoes, the first Captain America movie got 80, the other two got 90%, and then this one 52%. Yeah, there you go.
I don't even remember a Red Hulk. Like they kept hyping up a Red Hulk. Is that a thing?
Oh yeah, in the comics. Oh yeah, for a while, yeah. It was a Ross, yeah.
It was Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, Thunderbolt Ross, yeah. Ed McGuinness drew him during that run. All right, moving on. Stellar Blade is and Goddess of Victory Nikke DLC. Can someone explain what Goddess of Victory Nikke is?
I think it's one of those sort of multiplayer MMORPG type games.
No, it's
Isn't it?
It's a very. I recommend you not to search it. You go down a rabbit hole.
I think that's all I need to know.
Damn.
Goon on Gooners.
Well, if you go to search it, make sure you have like a VPN on private browsing, because I'm sure the FBI will be knocking at your door at that point.
Oh damn.
Oh fuck. Okay, definitely don't. Not even in incognito mode, bro. Don't. Fuck.
VPN that stuff. No, it's one of those not. It's like gotcha type games, but it's one where it's all about taking cover and shooting stuff behind cover. And the USP, you gotta love these terms. USP is that when you shoot, the recoil doesn't go into the girl's arms; it goes in other places.
Oh boy, I can imagine. I wonder if they're gonna bring those physics into the game.
Well, they're already in the game.
Yeah, I mean, like more so, like. Because this DLC, this trailer's not telling me anything really. It's just it looks like Eve is dressed up like the girl from that game.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just putting the girl in the game, and some items, kind of like I would say, kind of like the Nier Automata.
Yeah,
they might have a little bit of a mission involved, and
Yeah.
they actually didn't fully announce this, but there was they did say that they had some sort of thing going on with them. So this is like just the official full drop and actual gameplay stuff that they were showing.
yeah.
But they did mention this like on their own, like they had their company call or whatever they did, and they had mentioned this. There was two things that they had mentioned at the time: was the Nier Automata thing and this one.
Yeah, Rich, what's up?
Oh no, and yeah, they also said there'll be a new boss to fight. So I guess it's all tied together. Yeah.
And the game's
I'm
coming
sure.
to PC, Rich, it says here.
PC.
Coming to PC with additional content June 2025. So there you go.
There you go.
Good stuff. All right. I got to click on this. What the fuck is this? Blueprints. What the hell kind of game? I already forgot what this was. Some kind of first-person perspective game. I literally memory hold this shit. I don't remember this. I'm looking at this trailer. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, it's like weird, like
It's like Myst with but I don't know.
yeah.
Myst with why am I forgetting the name of that term? With the outlines, Manny. What's the name of that? Cell shading.
Yeah, but it's I think you sort of build the house.
Yeah. The description here says Blueprints, a quote unquote. Oh no, this is a quote. A quote genre blending atmospheric architectural adventure where you explore an ever changing manner of 45 shifting rooms. End quote. All right, so
45.
I have no fucking clue. All right, moving on. Abiotic Factor, another game I already memory hold. What is this?
This is another first-person shooters. I remember.
I can't tell from this trailer.
First-person game.
It's coming up PC. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, it's first person. It looks like a late 90s, early 2000s shooting game, PC shooting game.
It's funny about that one because like that styling is sort of coming back, where you have a lot of games that are doing this sort of throwback styling,
Yeah.
where they look like they're really low polygon characters and stuff like that. It's interesting.
Yeah. Right. So there you go.
Retroactive nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So right here, as you may have deduced from the featured image, this was the game that got me the most hype for the whole show. Didn't know what the fuck this was coming into it. It's called Tides of Annihilation. The guys in the chat, I gotta give a shout out to the guys in the chat. They saw this shit like, oh, this is a Tony game, hot girl and monsters. I'm like, yep, you got me. Some traversal going on. Very, you could tell this is in the vein of Nier Automata, all that God of War, fucking Shadow of the Colossus. It's like, this is pretty fucking dope, So I don't know when the hell it's coming out, and as Rich pointed out, there's some kaiju in this shit, bro. Like, Rich, you said there's going to be showing an 11-minute demo at like 1 a.m. So, the show, this show will be over by then. There's some Elden Ring type of stuff going on. The girl's doing some traversal. This looks fucking legit. Like, give me this fucking game, man. This is right up my alley.
Did this game come out of nowhere?
It did. I'm like, where the fuck is this coming from? It's like
Craigslist.
Huh?
Craigslist,
yeah.
Somebody just put the look what I made. Come buy it.
Yeah, like usually at this point, I expect somebody in the in the panel to be like, "Oh yeah, they showed this last summer." Nobody's saying that this time. This shit came out of nowhere. Some crazy ass bosses. It looks like. Well, that bitch looks crazy. Yo, these boss fights are nuts. Yeah, this looks dope. So I'm looking forward to seeing out the 11-minute thing. Good stuff. No word on when the hell's coming up, but maybe the trailer will let us know. But it's already on my list. Give me this shit. I'm
a little bit wary with this one.
Why is that?
Uh-oh.
It just looks like I'm gonna bust out the Brett thing.
Yeah.
It just looks like a whole bunch of games stuck into one.
Oh yeah, that's part of what I like about it. It looks like a bunch of games stuck in one. You got fucking Elden Ring. You got fucking Soul. Like you got all this stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't well.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Good stuff there. All right. Metal Eden. What the fuck is this? I think I already remember you hold this one too. Oh, damn! There's blood already. Uh-oh. I don't remember. Oh, another first-person shooting game. So, all right. Speaking about, generic stuff, Carlos, there you go. Generic shooting game number 327.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some,
Speaking of...
the colors look nice at least, but, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like kind of weird robots and things.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, when does, a little bit off topic, when does Doom come out? The new one?
May
March, May.
No, it's May Manny's birthday. Yeah, May 15th.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you have
this
time.
It just reminded me of that. I was like, I got some days.
Oh yeah, a little bit of Doomish. I can see where you're saying that. I mean, it looks kind of cool. We'll see. Keep an eye on that one. It looks nice. I was being a little bit of an asshole, but it looks kind of nice. All right.
For a second, I actually thought it was going to be the old not Bungie.
Overwatch.
No, the guys that did. Yeah, it was it Bungie? They did that game. That old first-person shooter that they had created, Marathon. I thought it was Marathon for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, it's Bungie.
Okay, yeah, but no, it's not Bungie.
Right. So this next game, this one's interesting. It's called Mind's Eye, and it's made by Leslie Benzies, who used to do GTA games. And if you watch like the Fuller trailer, Rich, go ahead, tell us about this game.
Oh no, I'm gonna let you talk a lot about it, but the producer of Red Dead Redemption, he also did like you said, Grand Theft Auto, L.A. Noire. So this is his first game as a director. And the only comment that I want to make, yes, the game looks interesting, but that protagonist is the exact same actor from Mafia 3. It's the exact actor.
Oh shit!
The likenesses, everything. So because I recognize that guy, I said, yeah, that's the same guy, and sure enough, it is. So
okay, look at that.
And it looks like GTA.
Yeah. It
Oh,
does.
absolutely,
Driving
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
That's why I'm like, keep an eye on this game. It definitely has those that DNA, you know. When is this shit dropping? Who the fuck knows? Let's see. Go to the end of the trailer here.
In the summer.
Oh shit!
Wow, the summer's
Wow.
packed, man.
Okay. Yeah, this summer games are coming, people.
It was Summer Games
the
Fest.
Summer
Nice.
Game Fest. You know, Jeff
Nice.
Keighley, where you at?
Yes. Yo, Mike.
You know. All right. And the last game of the evening here. It's called Soros, but I like to call it what Manny calls it, Eternal.
Eternal. By the way, this is the game I thought was Death Stranding. Because it literally had the guy wakes up on the beach, the sun looks like it's dying, then some hands come out of the water.
I thought it was too, Manny, just so you know, just to be fair here. But
this
yeah.
is the one I thought it was.
But as soon as I saw the swirling, like, you know, spheres, I was like, wait, is that House Marquee? Or excuse me, House Mark, you know? You know, because they had that Returnal type of thing. And what's the game before it? You know, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm talking about.
Returnal.
No, the game before Returnal.
That was one. I think that's one of those space games.
Yeah. Like, because Returnal, the you know, the orbs, I don't want to call them balls, but the orbs in the games have the same pattern as they do in Returnal, you know? And
Super Stardust?
yes. So that's kind of their signature right there, the studio signature. I didn't like Returnal, so I probably won't like this game, but I'm sure this is going to look very nice, you know?
Returnal did look very nice.
And the main guy
Hopefully it runs well.
looks like an actor, like, I guess.
I forgot what actor they said it was.
Yeah, some
Do you
actor.
recognize this one?
I do have one comment to make on this.
Oh,
First and foremost, I don't recognize the actor, so I don't know. I have to do that research, but I do want to take this moment to say I actually did an article where I did a prediction article on some stuff I think will get announced, and I did say Housemarque or whatever you want to call them, their next game is probably going to get announced this year. So I want to say that because I want to wield into existence that the next Resident Evil also gets announced because that was also my article. So yes, Resident Evil 9, whatever, we need that announcement. So
yeah.
Also, fun fact: Soros. If you say it backwards, it's sore ass.
Sore ass.
which is what your ass will be when you play this game over and over again.
See, they fucked up. They should have called this game Saras. You know, so it's the same way backwards and forwards. Yeah. You know,
There you go.
Or
Spirals.
or Soros, but we don't talk about that guy. You know. Oh man! All right, so go ahead. Yes,
I actually need to throw in a few things.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I actually need to correct Carlos. It
Excuse me?
wasn't Stardust. It was the last game. They actually had two games between that and Returnal that I didn't know about. So
They had
apparently-
Nex Machina. All them.
Yeah, and then they had Matterfall.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I forgot about that one too.
I never knew that it existed. So yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
You just remember Stardust HD? What's that on PS4?
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
it was on
It was a
Xbox.
hype game. Yeah, it was a hype game. Good stuff. All right. So anyway, there's the state of play. What you guys think overall?
It was a great show.
It was a great Adams show of the year.
I think it should be renamed to the state of third party because about
Third-party
95% of what we
experience.
saw is also coming to Xbox. You know, the only exception is the Soros. And of course Days Gone. But most of the stuff is coming to other platforms.
Well, that was a gripe I saw online. People were like, "Where are all the first party stuff? What is this?
Yes.
Why just Days Gone? So why all this is? What's going on? What are they working on? Absolutely nothing, since it's all third party stuff. And where's the Wolverine? Give us at least some gameplay or a teaser or something." I don't know what's up with them.
Yeah, but yeah, I
That's
thought
not coming for a while.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was a good show. Because usually a lot of these shows are absolute garbage. I'm not saying this one's perfect. Obviously, wasn't. But you know, again,
Perfect.
yeah. But it was good. It was good. You know.
Oh yeah. I do think it was a good show, for sure. A lot of stuff I saw, I will be picking up. So, yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, people on Twitter have horrible tastes, man. I need to stop looking at Twitter while I'm doing this fucking show. Somebody posted a clip of like that new Spider-Man show. He's apparently fighting Daredevil. Like, oh my god, look at this animation. I'm like, dude, it's all fucking CG bullshit. This looks horrible.
It's not. It's not. The actual animation on that show is awful.
This is terrible. But it's fucking CG. It's like it's not even real animation. What the fuck is? Okay.
Wait, Wake Show.
I mean, it is still animation, but like but the thing about it, it's not even like cool looking animation, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like you're like I mean, granted, it's hard. It's difficult to like. You can't compare it to something like a big budget film like Spider-Verse, where they actually get some really good action out of their shots. This definitely feels like a cheap CG animated show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
Yeah, that garbage.
No. Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's the show. Yeah, it's fucking awful. Anyway, yeah, State of Play, decent, good stuff. All right,
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. All right, man, let's get into it. Sony financials, people. You know, some interesting stuff came out here. So I'm going to be reading this off of Game Industry Biz. So here's the headline. PS5 experiences record sales during holiday period. PlayStation revenue reached $11 billion. The firm recorded highest number of MAUs in PlayStation history during quarter 3. Chris, what is MAU? What does that mean?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
Yeah, it's linked in the.
That'll be monthly active users.
Oh, thank you. That sounds right. But yeah, Chris, is linked in the show notes if you want to check it out too.
If they're doing so amazingly, why are they closing down studios?
You know. All right, so here we go. Sony has published its financial results for the 9 months ending December 31st, 2024, which saw growth across the board, but especially during the holiday period. The platform holder saw major increases in revenue in its games and network services segment, with the PS5 experiencing its best quarter so far. The firm has increased its sales forecast for PlayStation as a result. Ooh, okay. Remember before they decreased it, now they're increasing it. So here are the numbers for the 9 months that ended December 31st, 2024. Sales were $69 billion, which is 8.2% year on end. Operating income $7.2 billion, which is up 22.9%. That is, and then for games and network services, sales were $23.4 billion, up 13.8%, and operating income $2.1 billion, which is up 74.8%. Lots of big numbers there. Yeah, sorry, Barry, no graphs this time, but maybe for next time. Right, here we go. The highlights. Sony shipped 9.5 million PS5 units over the holiday period, quarter 3, compared to last year. This total includes the sales of the PS5 Pro, which launched in November 2024. Yeah, Sony actually said the PS5 Pros exceeded their expectations. Crazy, right?
Numbers,
man.
You can exceed expectations or not exceed expectations.
By one.
Numbers would matter the most.
Yeah.
I mean, they could say that we expected to sell 2, and then, we sold 10.
Yeah, we sold 10. Oh, shit. Or, Brian, we expected to sell 2. We sold 3. Shit, we did great. Right. The holiday season proved to be the best quarter for the PS5 so far, with the firm noting that it was essentially the same level as the cumulative sales for the PS4 for the same period since launch. Across the 9 months ended December 2024, the PS5 shipped 15.7 million units. When you consider the Q1 calendar sales, 22.2 million units were moved in 2024. Right, it's a little bit lower. And then I don't know if this report says it, but lifetime shipments, and I want to be clear about that, not sales, lifetime shipments are 75 million for PS5. By the end of the third quarter, the number of monthly active users grew to 129 million, up from 123 million compared to December 2023, marking the highest number of MAUs, there's that term again, in PS history. Monthly active users. The total playtime also increased by 2% year on year during quarter three, resulting in a seventh consecutive year of year-over-year growth. Over 40%. This one's interesting. Over 40% of consumers who bought a PS5 during the holiday period were new to the console, which contributed substantially to the monthly active users. I'm guessing those motherfuckers came from Xbox. You know, that's just my guess. I could be wrong, but that's interesting. Full game sales were 95.9 million during the third quarter, with 11.6 million being first party titles. I didn't know they had any first party titles. While full game sales increased from 89.7 million sold in the same period last year, first party dropped from 16.2 million. Okay, interesting. During its earnings call, Sony highlighted the success of Astrobot and Helldivers 2, two first-party titles released in September and August 2024, respectively. Astrobot sold... Brian, let's go. Astrobot...
Wait.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Helldivers is not first party.
They're considering it first party, but you're right. It's not. But Brian, what do you think Astrobot sold, by the way?
Last I heard, it was around 1.5 million.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Astrobot sold, like you said, Cha-ching sold $1.5 million after 58 days on the market, while Helldivers 2 sold 12 million units. Combined PS5 and PC sales after 87 days on the market. I would really like to know the breakdown, which I'm pretty sure PC guys bought it more though.
I think the PC, it was higher on PC.
Just conjecture on our part, but that's what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's up?
So, just to throw this out there, because there's no other place to, and we're talking about sales numbers.
Yeah.
I found out that Monster Hunter World sold 1 million copies in the last 3 months.
In the last 3 months. Man. You know, I mean, it is, granted, it became fucking Capcom's highest selling game with a month or two after launch. So I'm not surprised. But think about that. It sold 1 million copies a month before Wilds comes out. Bro.
And this game is like 7 years old at this point.
Jesus.
It probably sold in the same time frame as Dragon Age. It probably sold more, or it probably outsold Dragon Age in the same time frame.
Yes. I'm pretty sure if you were to take Dragon Age sales, Monster Hunter World sales starting from when Dragon Age dropped till now, it probably way outsold it on a 7-year-old game. You know, crazy. All right. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll keep continuing here. Noting the success both games achieved at numerous award ceremonies, Sony said, and this is a quote, "The fact that titles and genres we are aiming to expand in the future, including titles for families and live service games, have received accolades as a major stride toward our building a broader title portfolio." The firm said, go ahead.
The lies. Who's asking for these games? Come on now.
Yeah.
Live service games. This is what our people.
The family. Sony did say they are going to try to make more quote unquote more family games though, so that's kind of interesting. The firm said it expects a further expansion of earnings for the fiscal year 2025 following the release of Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2. Overall, Sony saw sales increase by 16% during the holiday quarter for its games and network service segment, reaching $11 billion. Digital game and add-on content sales increased 13.6 year over year to 4.6 billion, while hardware sales grew 10% to 4.7 billion. So people are buying consoles. Network services revenue rose by 29% year over year, with PlayStation Plus sales increasing 20%. And here's a quote here: mainly due to a shift to higher tiers of service and the impact of price revisions. And Carlos and Manny not forgetting to cancel their shit. That's also led to that. And then the last part. The last part here, Sony has increased its forecast for the current fiscal year, and it's expecting GNNS sales. I don't know what that means.
Network service.
Games and network services to reach 29.9 billion, up 3% from the previous guidance of 29.2 billion. So just a little bit. And a 9.5% improvement from 27.3 billion achieved in the last fiscal year. So in other words, PlayStation's doing very well.
Well, I mean, they wrote off Concord. They had to.
They had to. Fuck.
That's the reason you don't see it on this report. This report looks so good because they basically canceled Concord, got rid of the physical media, and they're going to do a massive tax write-off, which you have to pay the piper for that some point in one of these reports. I'm thinking close to the end of the year, we're going to see their tax burden increase. But right now, everything looks rosy, so good for them. But
we didn't fail at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. They didn't even mention Concord. That's a first party game, Yeah, exactly. But no, Chris, you bring up a good point. It's like, when is the effect of that going to bite them? And what Manny was asking before with the layoffs, I mean, could that be a reason as well? It's like, we got to start cutting money somewhere. We lost $400 million on this fucking woke bullshit game.
Yeah. Well, you cut overhead, so you reduce your operating costs. But that's minuscule compared to the loss they took on Concord. So I think what they will do is, with the tax write-off, they'll distribute those penalties throughout these reports so it doesn't look nearly as bad. What I'm worried about is they won't take the lesson from Concord, which is don't do that shit again.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, even though it's like, you put out this report, Nicole, everything sounds great. Investors are like, oh shit, look at that revenue stream. And it's like, yeah, but it's missing something. It's missing something.
One of those investors should be like, hey, there's something missing from it. And the PlayStation guy's like, what are you talking about? You're like, wasn't there this game called Concord that you released, not long ago? We don't worry about that.
Nah, everybody was on vacation. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody's vacation. Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh man. Like, we don't know where that 400 million went.
Where did that 400 million go? I don't know. Though we have this wonderful tax write-off that just showed up on here.
Yeah.
Eventually that burden will come back. And they're betting big on Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding too.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pleasantly surprised if they win that gamble.
Yeah, because remember, Death Stranding, even Kojima said the game didn't sell like hotcakes, Mm-hmm. And Ghost of Yotei, we'll see about that, All right, good stuff there. All right, let's talk about some game previews, man. Earlier this week, everybody started posting their previews of South of Midnight, including our very own Richard Bailey Jr., who wrote an excellent preview over on the Coalition. So I encourage everybody to go check that out, thecoalition.com with a K. But yeah, Rich, what are your thoughts on South of Midnight and the preview? And was this like so you went somewhere to go play this, right? Like it wasn't like a virtual deal or whatever?
Oh no. I played it right here on my Xbox Series X.
Cool.
So some inside information. If you have the Xbox Insider app on your Xbox, there are often opportunities that they have available on there for previews and all to play a lot of stuff that's pretty much early access.
Yeah.
When I got access to the game, they sent it through there. So all I had to do was wait for them, receive the game, and then I have to do an update, have to reboot the Xbox, and then once I restart it again, I'm able to download the game. So South of Midnight is, I would say, a very interesting game. And the reason why I wanted to do this preview is because, I wanted to get some information to see if it was going to be as bad of a game as people have said, based off of everything that we've seen. And obviously, coming out of the game, I would say, I'm definitely interested in learning more about what happens beyond where I played at. The thing about the preview build that they gave us access to, it started well into the third chapter of the game, so I don't really have any context as to what happened in the first two chapters. They, of course, gave us a brief explanation, but I still would like to see and experience that, because then I would have more time to understand the character, the story, the backstory. But initially, the story is that the main character, Hazel, she pretty much gets separated from her family because there's a hurricane that happens, and this is a game that takes place in the Deep South. I guess you could say it's a Gothic stylized version of the Deep South. So what they did is they took a lot of Southern folk tales and a lot of fairy stories and put that stuff in here basically to give you context as to some of the characters in the world building. But like I said, the demo that I played, it started well into the 3rd chapter. And the reason why they did that is because in that chapter, they have like a lot of different things. They have the combat, because again, the character is a weaver. So she basically uses like weaving abilities, but she also is like, has melee attacks that she can do on the enemies as well. She uses the weaving powers to stun and subdue the enemies, and then she's able to come up and attack them. And I will say this about the combat. That to me was the one thing I'm iffy on with this game, because like when it started out, you know, you're exploring the world and it's like the majority of that, because this is like a 90-minute demo, the majority of that chapter was a lot of combat and it felt like it was very repetitive. You know, now they do have a level up system where obviously as you get through the game, you progress, you're able to level up and then you're able to unlock other abilities. So I will be curious to see how that changes throughout the course of time. But initially when I went into it with the combat, I was not too impressed with the combat. I just said, this is great, but I want to see them evolve past this. I want to see where it goes. The other thing is the enemies that you're fighting, it's like these spirits they called, I guess, you know, they're called haints in South, basically like haunted like spirits and stuff like that, because the character interacts with ghosts, so on and so forth. So these are like evil spirits that she's fighting. The thing about it is that in this game, there are a lot of other mythical creatures that you have to come across. And at some point, I would like to see if you have to fight some of these creatures, because when we looked at the trailers they had before, you see like an alligator, is all these different type of creatures. And then at the end of this particular chapter I was playing, they showed a picture of a snake, but I didn't get to fight that snake. So I would like to know if combat can also be used on these other type of characters, because essentially in this chapter, all the stuff that you're fighting is just like, these are like the little side enemies. This is not like a major boss or anything like that. So I do want to see if you have to face bosses as well, because I think if that's the case, then the combat it takes things up a step. But initially, the combat is the only thing that I was iffy on with the game. In terms of how it captures the South, I think they did a very good job so far with what I've seen. Some of the characters have accents. You know, I've been living here in Georgia for, I want to say, almost 16 years now. So I kind of see where they were going with some of the stuff with the representation of the South. I will definitely be consulting with my very good friend Fergus Mills, because he's actually from here, Atlanta. And so I will definitely be talking with him about this, because he can confirm whether or not they truly nailed it. But what I played so far, I'm definitely invested in the story, finding out more about where they're going with the story and interacting with other characters. But so far, I would say, yeah, I think the game is pretty good. If you was to ask me, how do I think this game will score when it comes to Metacritic, so on and so forth, I would say it's probably a game that's probably going to be the mid to high 70s, maybe the low 80s. I don't think it's going to be amazing in terms of getting like 9s and 10s. I don't see that happening, because I don't believe it's a game that's for everybody. Yes, it's a different protagonist, but if you like the story elements, you like the fact that it's basically trying to tell a fairy tale pretty much in all of these chapters. And the one thing I will say is the presentation, because when they open up the start of each level, it's pretty much they open up a storybook. They're telling you this story, and then it goes right into, from the story to the gameplay, some cinematic stuff, so on and so forth. So I like the presentation. I like what they're doing. I'm invested in the story, but definitely need to see more. But I will say I did play enough where I do want to see more. So the game is coming out April 8th. I will definitely be reviewing it, so I'll definitely have a lot more to say once I've had more time with it. No doubt about that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely looking forward to that full review So good stuff there. Real quick, Kuel, he's in the comment section. He goes, "Is Atlanta really the South?" Georgia was part of the Confederacy, so yes, absolutely was or is, I should say. As far as I'm concerned, anything south of fucking Washington D.C. is the South, you know. But I'm a filthy Yankee, so I would say something like that.
You're the junkie.
So, Rich, so what I want to ask you, because I heard that you could actually turn off the weird stop motion stuff during the cinemas. Is that true?
That is true. There's a lot of options they had in that menu of different things you can adjust, the accessibility stuff as well. But I skipped over all of that because I was like, it took a while to get access to this game. I'm like, wait a minute, this embargo ends soon. Let me just jump into this but I do have to go back and check out the settings. But I did see that stuff in there. You are able to turn it off.
Okay, that's good. Kuel says he was born in Louisiana. Yeah, that's definitely more south than Georgia. But
oh yeah,
yeah, for sure. I didn't know that, man. That's kind of cool. For some reason, I took you as a Texas guy. But no, that's good. Yeah, because again, when we first saw this game, that was the thing that I kind of like dinged it for. I made the joke. I'm like, in old games, you were rewarded with cutscenes. This game, you're punished with them. Because the frame rate brutal. But I heard you could fiddle with them, so that's good. Good to know. But yeah, I definitely I'm glad you got to play a game because everybody was talking about it before the state of play. And I definitely wanted somebody in here to give their thoughts. And who better than Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. himself, All right, speaking about previews, I can finally talk about this, bruh. So I wouldn't say mid-January, I went to, here's the thing, I already been telling you guys about this stuff, but I didn't tell you everything. So in mid-January, I went to a Capcom event, check out a bunch of games, right? I already told you about two of them. I got to check out Mai and Street Fighter 6. That was a lot of fun. I got to play the Capcom Fighting Collection 2. They only really had, CVS 2, what's the Project Justice, and Street Fighter Alpha Upper, which is weird. But I only played those two games maybe about an hour total. And this was an all-day event, people. I was there from 9 to 5. I was like, what the fuck are we going to be doing? Monster Hunter. I played Monster Hunter for 6 hours straight at the same. I have not played a game for that long in fucking years. But, they fed us right, good Dunkin' Donuts, as we do in New York. I got to meet with the developers. I got to ask them a bunch of questions. Basically, I ran through, I want to say, the first, full chapter of the game. So I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, and my preview is now up over on Tom's Guide. So I'm not going to read you through it, but I'm going to use that as my guide here. But the things that, here's the thing. You guys already played a lot of this stuff already. If you participated in the two betas that, dropped, yes, even you PlayStation guys, you're going to be getting an extension, by the way, which is cool. This weekend, everybody gets it too. But yeah, if you've played the two betas, you've already experienced a good chunk of this stuff. You're in the desert, right? And then there's like a forest area. That's what I got to play. I got to play a desert area, a forest area, and a little bit of the oil basin. But there's like 4 areas total. The fourth one is like an ice place, and that's all readily available for you guys to find out. The one thing that really kind of stood out, from, and I'm only telling you about the 6 hours I played at this event. I may have been playing a little bit more, but we'll talk about that eventually. One thing that kind of stuck out is because obviously, we're not really playing these Monster Hunter games for the story. We just want to kill shit. But this game definitely has like a more emphasis on, the story and the characters. You actually kind of care about them. That's really cool. The environments are very interesting because they actually go through seasons. 3 seasons. Actually, there's 2 main seasons, then like a middle one. So I kind of call them 3. So basically you have what's called the fallow. There's like a intermediary kind of season. Inclemency, they call it. And then plenty, right? Basically, fallow. It's like there's not a lot of food. Animals are fucking hungry. They're more ravenous and shit. Then in the middle, there's like basically in the sand area, there's like a sandstorm, right? And then in the forest area, there's like a fucking just rain pour. And then after that, you get the plenty where there's like way more like wildlife everywhere, more shit to pick up and stuff. And eventually you will get the ability to toggle back and forth because there's different monsters in the different areas and stuff. And there's also like day-night cycles and stuff, which is kind of cool. And you could eventually set those as you want. But, during the beginning parts, you're kind of locked into them. The same 14 weapons that you got before, but they each have like new attacks, which is really cool. You get to ride, it's called a secret, basically fucking chocobos. Basically, yes, Carlos, you can ride the chocobo in this game,
Let's go.
and it's really cool because you could actually have like a secondary weapon and you can just pick it up from that thing you're writing. And it's also good, like, for example, if you're in the middle of a hunt and you need to heal, like me, I just hop on the fucking bird and heal while this thing's riding me around so I don't get murdered. And it's also kind of good way of shooting off your
Pause.
What's up? Oh yeah, no homo, and you could also shoot off the SOS flare on bird back. Let's call it that, Brian. Because how many times you try to do an SOS and you get fucked up by the monster. So that's good. Also, if you do not have friends, you could like call in your NPCs to help you out in hunts, and they're pretty good, and they're kind of well balanced. Like there's this one NPC, my man's always throwing out the heals and buffs and stuff. Like, yeah, let's go, son, bring it. You get your Palico, obviously. Customization, like always. If you play Monster Hunter World, bro, you're going to be very well settled into this, which is good. Because remember, we had to learn. There was so much shit we had to learn from Monster Hunter World. Like we're like 150 hours into the shit learning stuff. So it's good knowing you don't have to relearn all this stuff. It's all basically the same.
You kind of have to relearn everything because, man, I played a little bit of that demo. I was just like, how do I do this again?
Yeah. I mean, you have to relearn, but it's not like you it's more like you going, oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. Instead of like, what the fuck? I want to talk about focus mode. This thing's kind of cool because like if you hit a monster in a specific part for long enough, it'll actually get injured, and you could highlight it by holding the L2 button, or the whatever the fuck it's called on Xbox, and then with the R1 button, you could kind of like keep attacking it, and then your weapon will do like a special move and stuff. Every weapon has a different move, and in some cases it'll bring the monster down. You can just fuck it up, which is really nice. I really, really like the focus mode, and focus mode is also a good way of just aiming in general. The lock on is a little bit better this time around. It's like, I'm like, oh yeah, I could use lock on that because in the last game it was kind of shitty, so you just didn't do it. How it's shaped. Yeah, trigger. I guess you call it a trigger. I like saying L2 though, bro. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. The graphics, a little bit weird on PlayStation. On the PS5 Pro mode will be like a weird. It'll be like 40 FPS with ray tracing. That's the middle ground it's gonna hit. But man, I know you experienced this when you played the beta. Some of those kind of weird textures and stuff.
Oh man, it was like awful texture. Like I'm playing on a 1080p television.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
So like, I mean that I know for a fact that game runs at 1080p and it upscales it. But man, just some lousy textures all over the place. The damn game looks all jaggy, like it's even lower than 1080p. Come on, guys. At least be able to hit 1080p.
Yeah, it's coming to PC though, thankfully. Go ahead, Brian.
Question.
Yeah.
Were you playing at 120 hertz mode? Because it defaults to that.
I have no. There's no 120 hertz mode on my television.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah,
but it defaults to that as well, and I had to turn that off, and it looked a lot better.
I heard about that. Yes. As a matter of fact, Brian, thank you for bringing that up because when we were playing the beta, we were specifically told that. Shout out to J-Boy Jeeks. He told us that. Hey, listen, man, you got to go in. You got to turn off that 120 hertz mode. It's going to look.
It doesn't even turn. It doesn't even give me the option to turn it on.
Yeah. So I don't know how that will work on like regular PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I don't know what
I don't know, but
what
it's
we're
Yeah.
talking
just
about
on
because
default.
my television is not even capable. It doesn't
Yeah.
even. I can't even highlight the option.
It needs to be done outside of the game, not in the game, because
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I
Yes.
went-
Yes.
I went through the same thing when I first played it because I was like, why does it look so bad? Like, it doesn't look this bad in the trailers. Like what's going on? And then I spent some time,
Mm.
and then I found that option, and I was like, why is 120 hertz mode on? It's like, I don't have, like, my TV doesn't go that high. I know it doesn't because I
Yeah.
bought it. So I was like, this makes no sense. And then I turned it off, I restarted, and yeah, it looked a lot better. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, double check that.
Well, I'll test
and
it. I'll test it
see.
out this week when it restarts the beta again. See what it looks like.
Yeah. Oh, the last thing I want to bring up, because when we were like playing the beta and stuff, it like just finding, linking up with each other was a pain in the ass. So I was hoping that like maybe like a later build of the game would make it easier. No, if you guys remember, Chris, remember that bullshit we had to go through to link up with each other? We had to do that in real life in the office during that event. It's like
man.
get this code, go on this, go to link party, do all this stuff. Like, bruh.
Oh man.
Like, I'm like, and this is the
You guys didn't have a
PR,
J-Boy.
the PR company running us through this stuff. They're like, oh shit, So that's kind of annoying. I consider that even more annoying than the graphical stuff, because it's like once you actually set up a link party, you're fine. But just doing that to begin with is a pain in the ass, But yeah, this game, you already know. You already know, man. This is the title I used. Monster Hunter Wilds hands-on preview. There goes my social life. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done when this game drops, bro. You already know. My social life would be the fellas, playing this game, man. Can't wait. Stay tuned for more. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Because if guys are asking, like, oh, Tony, you're going to review the game? Obviously, I can't officially say whether I am or not, but I did go to this event, so that should be your clue, All right, so here's a game I don't think many of us have really played. Rich, I know you got a code for this, but I want to quickly talk about Avowed, because the reviews are up, and it seems people like it, at least the people who reviewed it, getting 80s, 90s, the usual. So and I guess a win for Xbox in that case, But I'm curious to see what the regular public will think. But Rich, I know you're going to be playing this soon, right? Wait for him to unmute himself. He may not be around. Oh yes, I am going to be playing it. There you go. There's your answer. I guess he's not here right now.
He's not avowed to answer the
He's
question.
not Avowed, yeah.
No.
Again, not really much to say, but yeah, Avowed, reviews are out there, so there you go. Go check them out from your trusted sources.
It comes out next week, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's dropping pretty close. Yeah, next week. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So that's kind of good. That's a good sign, right? That like the
Yeah.
game to drop tomorrow.
Yeah, because I saw the topic of the reviews. I was like, I didn't see I actually didn't see the reviews, so I was like, oh shit, it comes out tonight.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very smart thing to think. Out now if you got Ultimate Edition. Oh, interesting.
You me?
So there you go. So Carlos, you're right. It is out now. All right. Okay. So I threw this in last minute, but Manny was very eager to talk about this. Manny, what's going on with the Ready at Dawn or developer? What's happening?
We're back talking about MinMax, the MinMax show.
Why we plug another
I don't know,
podcast, man? Fuck.
I don't know, man. These guys are getting some deep cuts, some good cuts.
I never even
Last
heard
time
of
they
these
had-
guys until like last time we talked
They're
about them.
they're literally former what is it? What's the name of that Game Informer people?
Oh,
It's a bunch of people from Game Informer, the guys that got let go by GameStop. Anyway, so yeah, they got Kyo Yoshida this last time, and this time they got Andrea Pacino from Ready at Dawn. So if you don't know the guy, you probably wouldn't be able to miss the dude. The dude literally is jacked as shit. Like he's like this. He looks like a bodybuilder. Anyway, he he was part of the team at Ready at Dawn. He was a programmer or developer over there. And as you know, Ready at Dawn was recently closed by Meta or Facebook because they did that game. I think that game Lone Echo. I think that's what the name of it was called. But he dropped some bombs. So the first of all is, he talked about. Well, we'll just talk about the order, and then we'll move over into the Facebook stuff. So So first of all, the order was actually going to be a much more substantial game, but they ended up. So the way you do second first party development, right, is that you sign a contract that says that you're supposed to hit these specific milestones established by the publisher, right, which is Sony. And he said that when Shuhei Yoshida sort of moved on, after they had done, the Jack games and all that sort of stuff, when he started to move on, they got a new bunch of, management that were really heavy handed. And they would always, in other words, they couldn't show just a gray box of them working on a level. They had to show these completed things. So essentially, their development of the Order 1886 became them just trying to put on a good show for the superiors at the publisher, which meant that doing so that they had to start essentially chopping things out of the game. And the one caveat about this, by the way, this is common with when you are working for another studio like Sony, like Microsoft, and like any of the other guys. They have, if you do not reach your milestones, or if your milestone is not satisfactory, the studio has the right to essentially withhold funds, which is why they essentially they were just chopping things out, just trying to get the job done so they'd have money.
Oh man.
So that's unfortunate. And that's a common no-win situation with a lot of developers experience when they are working for other studios. This is part of the reason why, in a lot of ways, it's sort of better to become an internal studio, because you don't need to deal with any of that bullshit. In fact, when he says, with all the trials and tribulations that Naughty Dog went on, that they went through during the making of, I think, The Last of Us 2, or was it God of War? One of those studios. He said, we would have been fired right away.
Oh man.
It would have just let us go, because we wouldn't have hit. So yeah, he said, he wishes that things were different, and then that the Order 1886, essentially, despite them having what is considered a middle day team, so they came in pretty close under budget, and from what he knows internally, the game did pretty well. They did have the option to do an Order 1886 2, because of how well it did. But he says they would have wanted it. It would have been mostly for the fans, but it would have also meant the death of their studio, putting them into that same position that they were previously. So they decided to move out onto their own. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So further part of it, part of the reason why, moving on, as they they got into the VR space, and then they were purchased by Meta. And what happened with Meta is that they were essentially, in the beginning, they were all gung-ho and all that other good stuff. But obviously, what happened, around the 22, 23 sort of times, which was the decompression of the whole game industry in general. And they essentially were working on a sequel to the game that the VR game they had made. But essentially, the Meta was just essentially slowly but surely cutting down their workforce to essentially make make them incapable of finishing their game, until they finally closed the whole studio. So it was a slow death that they
that's crazy
did. So yeah, you could I would suggest, again, we're advertising another podcast, but if you listen to it, it's a really good, just like the Yoshida one, it's a really informative one, and it gives you a really good insight into, from the horse's mouth, of game development, because these things don't actually get talked about in public. And even he said it on the show. there's a lot of things that he couldn't talk about, and even him talking on this show now makes him feel weird because he just gets a lot of inside baseball into that in that show. So great show. Also, he's opened up a new studio, so hopefully we see something cool from them.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for that. All right, and the last two things of the night, we got to talk about Nintendo, bro.
It's a cereal now?
Yeah. So, Chris, you and I were kind of talking about this before, that Nintendo applied for anti-Palworld patents in America, and 22 out of 23 of them were rejected outright.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that. So, yeah, give us some insight. What's going on here? Because obviously the majority of the stuff was happening in Japan. Now they're trying to bring it over to America, but it's not succeeding like they wanted.
Well, yeah, I mean, the laws here don't work the same as in Japan. I didn't know this, but the reason they were able to sue Palworld in Japan, even though they filed a patent after Palworld had launched, that would automatically disqualify you here, which I don't understand what they're doing except trying to do some legal maneuvering here with the patents. But with Japan, apparently if you have a series of patents, and they're called like a patent family, so basically they belong to the same IP or whatever, Japan backdates the patent's legitimacy to the other family of patents. So what Nintendo did is basically they took advantage of that, filed a patent after Palworld launch, which they can't infringe on something that doesn't exist, but Nintendo linked it to older patents for Pokemon, and so Japan's courts consider it legitimate, right? I think that's ridiculous, but that's just how their laws work. Here, that's not the case. Like, they are trying to patent basic game mechanics, right? Like targeting an animal or all this stuff. And it's like, how could you even patent that, right? How many? It's so vague. It covers so many games. It's ridiculous. What do you mean, Cabela's is going to owe you money? It's like ridiculous. Yeah. So that's why they were rejected outright. They were ridiculous for even asking. But this kind of stuff, I think, is stuff I talk about, like the dark side of Nintendo. It's still there. This kind of stuff that they did in the 80s and 90s, and now they're trying it again, is very anti-consumer because they essentially control. If they were to get these patents, there are so many games that it would cover that they could strike down anything or sue anyone for imitating the basic mechanics that they have included in their games, but didn't exactly invent, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's ridiculous. I honestly hope they lose the suit, even though it's for peanuts in Japan. I think it sets a bad precedent. The whole thing that they've done is a bad look. It's almost brand damaging if you think about it. I don't see any sentiment online, like I've looked around, that is for this.
Yeah.
And then if you bring it here, I mean, there's always Nintendo stands and stuff. They'll be like, they'll ride and die and defend Pokemon or whatever and shit on Palworld. It's ridiculous. The same idiots who were attacking Genshin Impact because it looked a little bit like Zelda.
That's right.
Those type of guys. But for everybody else, it just, just looking at it on its face, you're like, what? You got to file a patent for targeting an animal and capturing an animal and all this nonsense. Just to, squash a game that had ideas that you should have implemented years ago when people are asking you for this type of experience? And you're just like, no, we'll just do the same thing over and over again. And then somebody comes along and it's like, yeah, you know what? People want to be able to interact with this game like this and have an MMO experience and, I don't know, shoot things. And they put it in a game, right? And it does gangbusters. And now they're butthurt, so now they're trying to use lawfare to destroy it. I think it's egregious and horrible. I think it's similar to when they tried to attack video game rentals here. It has parallels to that because in Japan, they were successful, and video game rentals are not a thing in Japan because of them. They tried that here. They even lobbied a congressman actually in Texas to put forward a bill to end video game rentals in America. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Right? The bill didn't pass. I don't even know if it got a floor vote. But, that type of shit is ridiculous. Like them basically trying to sue Blockbuster after that trying to wreck their business. Them suing Galoob over Game Genie destroyed Galoob. Period. After that, they just ran out of money fighting that. It just echoes that type of thing, and I think we lose in the end if they were to succeed with these efforts. I think that would just put a weird legal stranglehold on a lot of innovation or people trying to do similar things to what they've done.
Yeah, so hopefully, the courts over here do the right thing and don't listen to Nintendo's bullshit,
Yeah.
Who else says Nintendo out here acting like it's 1987?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's right. So, yeah, there's that. And then the last bit of Nintendo news here, basically they're going to gauge, how the Switch is going to be received depending on the upcoming event on April 2nd. And that may kind of contribute to how many consoles they release, which is kind of interesting. So this is what they said. We are happy that Furukawa said this specifically. We are happy that many people all over the world watched the trailer, but because we only revealed the name and form factor, we will still have to wait until more detailed information is released on April 2nd to get a good sense of their reaction. There is currently a lot of interest, so we will focus on preparations for the announcement and then offer opportunities for many people to get their hands on the hardware so we can convey some appeal. So, Chris, I find this kind of weird. You would assume Nintendo would just okay, we don't care what anybody thinks. Here's the console, have at it, But now they're talking about gauging interest. It's what's happening here? I'm kind of confused because this isn't kind of typical of Nintendo. They're usually a little bit more sure of themselves.
Yeah, I think this is them toe dipping, as Carlos would say, because this is the success of the Switch is paralleling the success of the Wii, and then what followed it, the successor.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Yeah,
and then what happened with the Wii U? They went full bore into the Wii U, and it failed miserably. I mean, 13.5 million sold lifetime compared to 102 million for the Switch. The Wii before it, and so they're leery. And Nintendo always does this. They always play things safe, especially when they get burned. Which is why it took 30 years to get a Mario movie, because you had the Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo movie that came out, and then they went, we don't want to deal with Hollywood anymore. And then it took 30 years for somebody to convince them, hey, you should do this. So it's very similar. They're playing things very safe, which I don't think they need to be as worried because they have basically done what we thought they would do, right? It's just keep it close to the original form factor and look and feel and very safe, right? It's just more powerful, probably has a better screen, it's bigger, and that's it, right? And it's backwards compatible. So all those things should work out, but I think they're very concerned that they don't want another Wii U scenario. So they got to gauge interest. Now, is the trailer enough to gauge interest? I don't know, probably not, because anytime you put anything in front of people, even surveys are free. Nobody's putting their money behind their words when they say, "Will you purchase this thing?" And you say, "Oh, of course," right? That's free advice. When you actually have to throw down $400, you may make a different decision. So that's not a good way to gauge interest. You could say "Oh, look at it, the millions of views and the updates and all this stuff," but it's that doesn't translate into money. I think you have to test in markets. If he wants to, let's say, roll the console out slowly and maybe not commit to fabricating, 20 million units off the bat or whatever, maybe fabricate half that way.
Yeah.
That's a better way to go, and then slow roll it out, see how the bundles sell, right? And then you ramp things up. You create the scarcity thing, but if you want to play it safe, I would do it in that respect versus seeing what people on YouTube think of your trailer and then doing surveys. That's not a feasible way to gauge actual purchasing interest, right? People could say whatever they want in a survey. People could watch the trailer just because they love Nintendo and have no desire to buy the Switch 2 because they already have a Switch. Maybe they're satisfied. So it's not to me, that's not a good enough gauge of interest. I think it's kind of interesting that that's what he's hanging his hat on. I would think they would have a better strategy for that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but you're right. It's like, they don't want history to repeat itself, so maybe they're being a little cautious this time. But I don't know, it's kind of strange, and it's like whatever they show on April 2nd, it's have to be pretty substantial to get people hyped. So I'm guessing, because remember, one of the criticism was like, where's the games at? So they're gonna have to bring the games, because that's ultimately what Nintendo fans care about. Like, yeah, we care. I'm talking about us right here in the panel. We want the specs, we want all that hardware stuff, but Nintendo fans give a fuck about the games. So I think we may get some lip service to specs, but I think if they're smart, they'll focus on games, because that's the only thing they really have. A new Mario, show off more of that fucking Mario Kart, maybe Metroid. I think it's too early for Zelda, so I don't know if we'll get anything, but who knows?
And if you have one of those games ready or close to ready, because I think the system has to launch this year, like later this year. So why not put one like Mario Kart? You know how the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was a remake of the one on the Wii U. Is the best-selling game on the Switch right now. It is the top seller. So why wouldn't you do a pre-order for at least that title and gauge the interest? Because anybody who pre-orders that game is going to be committed to purchasing the system if they want to play.
That's right, yeah.
Right? So why wouldn't that be the gauge of interest? Why wouldn't it be like, oh, hey, guess what? Mario Kart, the pre-order's up right now as you're watching this, right? Let's see what happens.
Oh, they'll go nuts, I think that'll be a good strategy, but, we'll see about that. All right, man, so that's going to do it for us. Another good show. Let's circle back again to Rich here. Rich, are you available now, sir? Let's see if he comes back. Uh-oh. No Richard Bailey Jr. Dropped. Anyway, but we'll plug Coalition stuff for him. Adam, what's going on with... Okay, by the way, I keep forgetting to make this joke. I keep wanting to call your show Reach Around. I'm like, well, I don't know why you didn't call it that.
Reach around.
Reach around.
Reach around.
I'm like, you should have called it the Reach Around. Just saying,
Reach around.
But yeah, what's going on with the Reacher show?
Yeah, that Talking Reacher. So as you know, the first episode, the first 3 drop on the 20th. So we already have 2 ready to go when they come out. Covering episode 1, 2, and we'll have episode 3 done. But right now, it's coming along. If you're interested and you want to get ready to follow, the page is already up on Spotify, so you could just search Talking Reacher, and then you'll see it, and you can follow it. It's myself and Lawrence from A Punk with Toys on YouTube. And it's fun. It's fun. We're cracking up. We got a lot of jokes on this. We love the show, but people might think that we're just getting too harsh, because we find a lot of little things that just piss us off. But even the action is crazy. There's a lot of crazy action in it. And so, we should be good to go with all 3 to drop on that day on the 20th, and they'll all be separate. So if you say, just watch the first episode, it's all right. We got them all split up, and they'll also be on the Coalition channel, YouTube channel. So you could go on there and follow and put comments, because we plan on it from every episode, then just reading the comments and then whatever questions and ideas you have, and then we'll address them and bring them up in the next episode. And hopefully leading to the final episode, which is episode 8, and we'll just do a whole live discussion on that one.
Oh shit, good stuff, man.
Yeah, to get that involved. So
that's smart. Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. You guys.
Oh, and one more thing, because Rich isn't here.
Yeah, because Rich ain't here.
Yeah,
he's
not here. Another thing that we're talking about doing on the Coalition is covering just doing a rundown, because Cobra Kai just dropped this final 5 episodes. And I know, Rich, we were talking about it because he watches it, I watch it. We know a few other people. We might put something together on YouTube and just do another live discussion, just talking about the whole series in a whole, because it's over. This is it.
Yeah.
This was the final episode. And then just give our thoughts.
They're going to do the movie.
Well, there's a movie, and then there's talks of a spinoff that's also coming. So maybe we'll see some of that. materialize in the last few episodes, because there's only 5 episodes in this one, and then see if they hint at that. But just to give our thoughts, and then just remembering, and because Cobra Kai was a sleeper hit. Remember, it was on YouTube Red when that was still a thing, and it took off. People thought it was going to be a joke. They're like, "Oh, these guys are hungry for money. This is never going to work," and it blew up to the point that Netflix offered a good amount of money to YouTube for it. And the rest is history. Here we are.
Oh shit, that's right. It was a YouTube thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was part of when they were trying to launch their own series and stuff, and that was one of them. And it kicked off. They did 2 seasons there, and then Netflix came and was like, all right, well, how much?
Yeah, well, we want it.
Yeah, we want it. We'll run with this, and here we go. So it's almost over. So yeah, that's the other thing going up on there. And then of course, like he mentioned, we have a bunch of reviews and stuff dropping next week. So
good stuff. And also, right now you can go check out our Invincible podcast. First episode of that, where we cover the first 3 episodes of Invincible. But starting now with episode 4, it'll be each individual episode up until the season. It's crazy. It's like after we do this episode, we're already halfway through the season. But at least we're getting the full season now. We don't have to get 4 episodes, wait a bunch of months. No more writer strike bullshit. And as we've said, and again, this isn't a spoiler because fucking the official Twitter tweeted out, Battle Beast is back, baby. So that's going to be a lot of fun. The prison breakout episode, so stay tuned for that. Going to be me, Rich, Dana, Carlos, maybe Chris. And yeah, we'll be bringing that to you on Saturday. And I'm going to do what I kind of have been doing the whole time, but watch episode before we record. So it's fresh.
That is the way we do it. That's the best way to do it. We do that with Negan also, because like you said, it's fresh in your mind. You want to talk about it because there's key points, because you could forget if you watch it. I'll watch it this weekend, and then 2 days go by, you could forget key points.
You can, yeah. What I did was go ahead.
Watching The Walking Dead is 10 times amplified in its enjoyability when you watch with Rich.
Oh shit! Whoa! Oh man, yeah, and Adam, just to your point, because remember, we had to watch 3 episodes. So I had a time, and I'm like, okay, if I wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, start watching at 10:30, I'll be done by 1:30, and that gives me half an hour, and it worked out. And I was taking notes in between and shit, because it was a 3 episodes. So thankfully, this one will be more back to standard. We're just off the cuff stuff. But when you have 3 episodes, you got to cover. You got to take notes. And Adam, to Mike, again, to your boy's credit, man. But again, I'm a journalist. I know how to organize shit. I itemized everything, and we did 3 episodes in 1 hour. Which is good. Covered the whole thing. Because if we would have done it point by point by point, we would have been there forever.
Well, that was the whole thing. Even now with Reach, we're like, oh, did we just go? That take too long?
Yeah.
It's 3 hours or an hour each. It's like, no, and we have the fact that we have the screener, we could do it early. It's like, all right, let's just do this separate.
Yeah. So yeah, I may still keep that because I really like that structure I did with Invincible. It's like instead of just going through the whole episode as it went, it's like let's take the key points and go down the line. All right. So anyway, make sure you watch all that stuff on the Coalition, and also stay tuned for more game previews and reviews. We finally have games to talk about. People finally have games. Man, you still want to plug that thing because it's like far away, right?
No, it's far away. Don't
Okay.
worry about it. It's coming. Got some Ninja Turtle stuff coming. A lot of Ninja Turtle stuff coming. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. Good stuff. All right, guys. So make sure you follow Throw It Down on Twitch and Twitter, or should I call it X? Subscribe to us on YouTube, join the Discord, and follow us on your favorite podcast app. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
X go give it to you. What?
What?
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good weekend. A lot of stuff to watch. A lot of good TV going on right now this weekend. So
Let's try this again. Richard Bailey Jr. Oh,
I don't
Richard.
know.
He fell asleep.
He's on call probably.
I think he's.
Yeah.
I think he's done. He's
Yeah.
asleep.
And of course, Mr. Brian Manjoma.
Just 2 weeks left.
All right.
Wonder.
All right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday.